Runners, you need to stop doing what I talk about in this video. If you want to run faster, if you want to run all year, this is a must. Hi everyone, Steve Yonzer, physical therapist with RunSmart Online. Today's a clinic day, so I'm on my lunch. Just got finished up with patients recently before I go back for the afternoon, and I want to talk about a patient who I had because I think it can help you. And truthfully, just like I told my patient today, what I'm going to tell you is not just this patient. This is patient after patient after patient. Does a lot of the same things, and it leads to a lot of issues. So here's the backstory. Real quick before I forget, there is a link in this post to the injury management protocol inside the RunSmart app, including all the strength workouts and stuff. So if this sounds like it's something that you could use, be sure to check out the link in this post. So here's the story. Runner comes to me today for the first time. Injury started back in November, so we're all of a sudden about 8 weeks out from the injury, and they knew something was wrong, so they started doing they went for a run, 6-mile run, and had to limp home. Things were a little sore for the week before and ended up limping home and took 2 weeks off because they knew that something was wrong and they couldn't run. Pretty much because they shouldn't and they couldn't. So they took 2 weeks off. That seems to be the arbitrary thing. So she took 2 weeks off, then she tried again, and she was running. She's usually running about 55 miles a week, and just started running again, realized she couldn't run, so she went to the doc. Doc prescribed a steroid, and she ran through the steroid. So she was taking a 6-day steroid pack and running because she felt okay. And I'll stop there because that is one of the big issues that I see with a lot of runners, is that whether it's ibuprofen, a steroid pack, whatever, she was treating the inflammation and the irritation in her leg. So the example I gave her, and I give all my runners, is if I kick you in the shin right now, you're going to be really sore, and the shin's going to have some damage to it. And if you just start chugging vitamin I, as I call it in the clinic, ibuprofen, or you take a steroid, it's going to calm down the irritation from me kicking you in the shin. But the shin is not healed. It's just not sore because of the masking of ibuprofen or the steroid. So she actually ran through the steroid, and then she felt good. And when the steroid wore off, she's like, what the hell? Like, I still hurt. That didn't work. And I told her it did work. It's you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And the whole point of like ibuprofen or a steroid is to decrease the irritation, the inflammation, so that you can start working on things sooner or start to get the healing process going and calm it down. A steroid or ibuprofen is not going to heal anything, and it shouldn't be used as the mask to continue to run. So this whole time she's on her steroid, she's running, the steroid's like, oh, I'm going to clean up all this inflammation for you, patient, and so that you can be ready to start running a little bit sooner, or you can start the recovery process, because at this point before the steroid, she wasn't feeling well. So as the steroid's chewing up all the inflammation, she's just on a conveyor belt saying, like, imagine for a second, the steroid has a shovel and it's just throwing inflammation out of the injury site, and she's just taking another shovel and packing it back in by continuing to run. So she gets done with the steroid and she said, well, it didn't really work. I could run during, but not after. And I explained to her, like, we were just re-irritating it. So the steroid wears off. Guess what? Inflammation comes back around because it didn't heal anything. It just calmed it down. So this is still about a month ago. So she starts taking ibuprofen and she's running. She took another week off. She tried to run again. She took a week off. She tried to run again. And she ran 6 miles yesterday before seeing me, and she's sore. And we're about 8 weeks out at this point from the point where she took her first 2 weeks off. And I think this is the critical point for you guys, because I talk about this a lot, is that you need structure. I told you you're reaching for lifeboats. Like, just talking to you, you're like grasping, hoping that the next run you do is not going to hurt. And whether you're hurt now or you're not, I need to let you guys know that you need to have structure. Think about training plans, right? Training plans all have this structure. You do this on this day, this day, and this day, this on this day, this on this day. And when it comes to recovery, runners are just like, let's hope this works, or they just kind of throw shit at the wall and hopefully they come out on the other side of it. But you want to have structure, and this is what we're going to do for her. And it's all included inside the injury management protocol, all the strength workouts, everything's inside the RunSmart app that I did link into this. But here's what we're going to do for her. First, she was aggravated because she's like, when am I going to run? I'm like, well, it's been 8 weeks already, so give me 4, and let's see if we can get you back to running in full capacity, uninjured. And she's like, 4 weeks? Are you serious? I'm like, why? Like, why am I not serious? Because you just took 8 weeks. and just torch this thing. I think 4 weeks, I'm pretty proud of the fact that I could tell you 4 weeks. You're lucky you're younger. This runner was 30 years old. So what we're going to do to her, give to her, is structure. So I said, okay, we're not going to run for 4 weeks. Here's all the things you can do. You can bike, you can row, you can swim, you can elliptical, and you can do these strength exercises, because we need to bridge the gap from not running to running. And that's what she was missing. That's what a lot of runners are missing. They take the arbitrary 2 weeks off and they just try to run again. And it rarely, if ever, works. So here's what you need to do. And store this somewhere in your mind, runners, because this will make a difference. It will get you back on the road sooner, and will make it so you can run all year with these little blips in time where you can't, not months and weeks. So you get to the point where you're like, okay, I can't run. You need to bridge the gap from doing nothing to running. And inside this zone, between these two hands, are exercises. It's things like squats, lunges, reaches, working on your core, doing flexibility exercises to the injury site, like stretching. That structure of a progressive reintroduction of load to your injury is what makes you heal. It's not rest, it's not ibuprofen, it's not steroids. If you want to do this right, you need to bridge the gap from not doing something, taking a little bit of a break, to reintroducing running. That's what I have to say to you, is be structured. Don't just like, well, I'm running every other day, now every third day. Oh, I took 2 weeks off. Like, she was all over the place with ibuprofen, trying this stretch, trying that foam roll, trying this exercise. Get structure. If you want help with structure, check out the injury management protocol. It's inside the RunSmart app, along with all the strength workouts you could use. There's a link to it in this post, but don't grasp for a lifeboat. Don't just hope that the next run's going to be different. And we're going to put this runner back together, but despite her best efforts, I guess I could say. All right, I'm going back to see patients. Hope everyone has a great day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.